Hi everyone, today I'm going to do an introduction and a little bit of an explanation about Welcome to Emerald Island. Just going to go through the textbook and explain the curriculum and how it would work, how you can use it for your family. So this is the textbook, Welcome to Emerald Island. As you can see, it's quite a good size, good quality textbook to begin with. Here you have your contents page and you'll be able to see the different lessons. There's 12 lessons. We begin with an introduction and then we go chronologically through the periods of Irish history right up to 2022. So you can see the different titles here. You can flick through to these. They go chronologically, as I've said, and then at the back there's an appendix with your references and solutions to any puzzles, crosswords, things like that. So diving straight into the book then, you've got your introduction first of all. This is for parents, teachers, guardians, mums and dads. This little section here will explain what I'm going to talk about today, how to use the book, what's involved, how you can use it and adjust it for your family to make it fit your needs best. On this page then we have a supply list and recommended text. So your supply list involves things like stationery, an atlas, a Bible, things that you'll need to complete all the lessons. There's nothing too extraordinary or too unusual. You can see the list here. You've got little check boxes to tick them off, and then the core text below, which are 2 books we recommend that you use. And then below here you can see a list of optional reads. So these are things, living books as such, that you can add in if you wish at your own discretion. They're not essential, but they add a little bit to the program. So in lesson 1, as I've said, we're going to place Ireland in its context in the world, look at where we are in the world, a little bit of basic facts about the country. You can see there's a lot of good full color illustrations. The paper's thick, good quality. We've got lots of maps and diagrams all the way through. We've tried to make this book as attractive to you and your children as possible. So you can see, as I've said, the maps. Mapping is a big key skill that we try to develop through the curriculum, learning Irish geography and being able to plot and plan and being able to practice your cartography as well, so that children be able to map for themselves. And at the back of this book there is a blank map that you can print off, photocopy and print off for your child. There's also copies in the student workbook as well. So here's just some examples of what's in the first lesson. You can see we're learning Irish currency, euro and sterling, because of course Northern Ireland uses sterling. Here you've got the national anthem in English and Irish. You've got Ireland's Call, which is another anthem that's used for both parts of the island. And as I've said before, there's a lot of colourful diagrams. There's a folk song. We've got the timeline of Irish history. This is an important page that we refer to throughout the curriculum. You can see different things that have happened here, and these will be touched on as we move through the book. Important dates, and again, it's very colourful and draws the eye. So at the bottom of each page there's also, or on tops of some pages, there's little coloured sections that help you to develop what you've learned about. So this is for the parents to ask your children, to get them to think a little bit more. There's different activities to do, questions to discuss, maybe some writing to do. So this expands on what you've learned on the page before. So a lot of the pages there's not that much reading on, but there's a lot of activities and different things that you can then do to develop this. So this is where the big chunk of your work is going to be, in these little sections at the bottom of the page, and they're color coded, and each lesson is color coded, so they're going to be different easy to spot, and they're really to help mum and dad or grandparents, I suppose. So here we have some recipes throughout the curriculum. There's recipes to try. They're simple, they can be done independently or for younger children with parental supervision. And baking, of course, is a practical science, so you're getting a lot of practical knowledge here. You're using your maths, you're using your measurement, and you're also learning to make these traditional Irish dishes and snacks. So we really encourage baking as a practical skill, and it's not in every lesson, but it is throughout the curriculum. And these are all recipes that have been developed by me or used by me, and they're all very simple and easy to work with. Then in every lesson at the end, we also have a Bible passage to memorize, discuss, talk about, and we have a puzzle. It could be a crossword puzzle or word search, different things. So this is lesson 2. As you can see, it's a new color, red, just to make it very clear that you're in a different section. It's easy to identify. And this is beginning to go through the history then from lesson 2. So we're starting just after the Ice Age. We are, obviously, as this is a Christian curriculum, we're starting with a Christian worldview. So in the first lesson here, we're going to talk about post-flood, and we're going to mention creation and things like that. So do be aware of that if that's something that you just want to think about. You've got glaciers here, talking about different elements, character studies. As I've said before, beautiful full color photographs, some mapping here, learning about important Irish cultural sites, learning about people of the past. And then here you can see touching on things like wolves, Irish wolf animals, and this is a folklore story, so a part of Irish mythology. So these are a wide range of subjects that are touched upon through the curriculum. And as you can see, the book itself makes it very easy for parents to just pick it up and be able to go through it. You don't need to have done an awful lot of research beforehand, though of course that's helpful. So just flicking through here to show you what's involved, the different colors and different sections, and you can see all the way through we've tried to keep it really attractive. Now I would say that up to lesson 6 is quite, basic, simple, easy, and then as the lessons progress, it starts to become a little bit more in-depth, obviously, as you start to get into the more gritty parts of Irish history. I've tried to keep it very appropriate. This is a sympathetic, neutral, non-denominational approach. Obviously, there's subjects that has to be touched on. Now, when it comes to the Troubles, we've been fortunate to have 2 lovely gentlemen give their own accounts of growing up in Northern Ireland during the Troubles, one from a Catholic perspective and one from a Protestant perspective. And those are real life accounts, which I think is important, and to get those sides, 2 different viewpoints. So you can see here we're right up to the end, to the more modern era, and learning lots of different things as you touch on different parts of the program. So it's not just Ireland, it's also using Ireland as a stepping point to develop interest in other things. So you're going to learn about different subjects, but through using Ireland as a stepping point. And here at the end, you can see a county puzzle map. So by the end of the lesson, by the end of the curriculum, we would hope that all children would be able to name all the 32 counties and map them. Here's your appendix. So this is where you're going to get a lot of helpful resources. You've got your e-reference list here. If there's any section in the book that tells you to go and look on a website and find some more information, there's where you're going to get a lot of the references for this. So some are in the text already, but these are just some extra pieces for the teacher's perspective to give you a little bit of pointers. So for example, here's a timeline of the Troubles, where you can find out more information on that. There's a bibliography here as well if you want to explore any of these topics further, especially for the adults. Then there's a big list here of some lovely books that you can get some more information from. These are not necessarily from a Christian perspective, these books, so just be aware of that if you're recommending any of them. They're more for the adults. There's a little piece to thank those two gentlemen. Got your puzzle solutions, and then here at the back is the map that I mentioned earlier. So this is your blank map. If you haven't bought the workbook, that is a banana donated by my daughter. If you haven't bought the workbook, this is a place you could photocopy this map and print it off for your child or children to use. And your index here at the back. So hopefully that gives you a little bit more idea of what's involved. This is a big chunky book and there's a lot in here, and we recommend taking a full year to do this, but of course you could use it as a module rather than your full-time curriculum and just dip into it as and when you wanted. There's a lot more information on our website, hiddentreasureshomeschool.com. Like and subscribe and leave a comment with any questions and we'll try and get back to you.